Once I realized that nutritious food comes from farms that are growing it in a way that is devoid of toxins, is devoid of chemicals, is grown on land that's alive, because there's a big difference between dirt and soil. And dirt is a substance that things can grow in, but soil is a thing that is alive. And if the farmer realizes that that land is alive, then they will do things to create more life in that soil. And an alive soil creates a food that is alive. And then you eat that food, and guess what? You feel more alive.
That's cool. Up.
We are in the Grey Highlands, just outside of Meaford, Ontario. And in this area, it's quickly being apparent that farming is becoming less and less available to the small family. It's becoming more industrialized, and as the industrialization of farming happens, there becomes less and less people farming, and we're losing a farm a day here in Ontario. And being a farmer and seeing people unable to farm is heartbreaking. And I get it, because farming is tough. And that's why if you're going to be a farmer, you have to do it differently these days.
The majority of farmers that rely on external inputs, they usually also rely upon subsidies, because they're spending so much money to grow these crops, because they're spending all this money on fertilizers and insecticides and pesticides. And pesticides include fungicides and herbicides. And they're having to buy all these things in, and they're having to buy in the grain because it's genetically modified, and they can't grow it and keep it. They have to keep buying it in. So they have to buy in the seed, they have to buy in the chemicals to grow the seed, they have to buy the equipment to grow the crops. And because of all this, if there's a failure, they have to rely upon the government to keep them going. So it's this never-ending system where the farmer is never self-sufficient, and the farmer always needs to rely on these external inputs to just be a farmer the next year. And the way I see it, if we keep doing this, it's a short-term gain for a long-term loss. And I don't see it moving forward at all, because all of these external inputs usually degrade soil. And when they degrade soil, a degraded soil needs more inputs. So it's this perpetuating cycle that doesn't seem to want to quit until all of the soil has been destroyed and there's no money to be made. If the consumer can educate themselves and come out to farms and meet their farmer, or educate themselves on how good food is grown, they will easily be able to understand which farms that they should support. And they will easily understand which farm they should support by those farmers selling their products through social media and on the website and going on farm tours and spending more of their energy with their families educating themselves about their food. And once they go out to the farm, they'll be able to tell right away whether they want to eat this food from this farm. By doing that, when the customer supports the type of farms that they want to eat from, more of those farms will come up. And the farmers will follow what the customer dictates by where they spend their money. And that's the greatest thing about being a customer, is you get to promote what you want. And I think that the best way to influence your own health, your community's health, and the environment's health is by supporting a farm, because it checks all those boxes. And not only the food will be more nutritious for you, but the story behind your food will allow you to nourish yourselves in a deeper way than just what the vitamins and minerals tell you.
We're trying to put information into the food by how we inform ourselves with the land. And then you create this cycle that I think has these effects once the people eat the food, that then they will make better decisions based on the land. And the food is informing the people, and then the people are informing the land, and you create this regenerative system that I think is why we're all here.
In here we have a lot of clover and alfalfa, and then our grasses are coming up underneath, and we have a lot of volunteer forbs that are coming that are also beneficial, that have flowers coming, and are a great habitat for insects. So I'm really pleased with this stand and how thick it's come in, and it's going to make great feed for the cattle. This is the first time the cattle will be here. We'll lightly graze it because this is the first year of establishment for the crop, and we'll keep this field in perennials for at least 2 years before we bring it back into our annual cropping rotation. So our animals are really important in cycling and moving the harvested sunlight that we've captured from the year previous, and they help digest it and turn it back into pretty much compost that turns into soil, which goes around and around and around. So the livestock in our system are super important because we're frozen for about 6 months of the year. And when you're frozen, obviously it makes sense that the digestion stops. So what we're able to do is we're able to utilize the warm guts of our animals to keep that digestion process going and cycling the carbon, and allowing for our farm to be mostly self-sufficient. So because of the animals that we harvest and utilize on the farm, it allows us to create our own manures and our own fertilizers, so we don't have to rely on external inputs.
Let's move them down.
I think because they have babies, usually we would just keep this fence up and let them in and keep this fence up, but sometimes they'll leave their babies back in there, so we put up a back fence every 3 days, something like that.
My job is to attract or absorb as much sunlight as possible. That's the main goal. And to be able to move that sunlight through the digestive tract of our animals We use their hooves and their mouths, and they poop and pee and step all over the land. And that destruction helps to aid in regeneration. We utilize the pigs and the chickens as well, and we move them around on the land in the growing season. And being able to move the livestock around on the land is what nature used to do. Everybody talks about buying local, but it's true. You have to find farmers around your area, and where your money goes, that will flow, and that'll allow for more farms like myself to pop up that can raise the eggs and pick the eggs by hand and allow the chickens to be outside and live a good life, and creating a little bit of inconvenience in your buying process of your food and understanding where your food comes from is going to dramatically affect the ability for farmers to farm like myself. My name is Mitch from Good Family Farms. We truly believe that food is medicine, and your medicine can be your food.